Right now, you're almost certainly using Chrome. Maybe Safari if you're deep in the Apple ecosystem, Firefox if you refuse to let Google win, but the browser you use every single day exists because of corporate wars, antitrust lawsuits, broken monopolies, and one small Norwegian company that tried to take down Microsoft. This is the full story of every major web browser and how we ended up here. We'll cover the browsers that started the web, the first web browser war that nearly killed innovation, the rebellion that brought it back, and why today almost everything runs on the same engine, from Mosaic to Chrome. Let's get into it. The pioneers. WorldWideWeb/Nexus, 1990. The very first web browser was created by Tim Berners-Lee, the same person who invented the World Wide Web itself. It was called WorldWideWeb, later renamed Nexus, and it wasn't just a browser, it was also a web editor. You could literally create the web inside the browser. The problem? It only ran on Next computers, which basically nobody had, so while it was revolutionary, almost no one ever used it. Mosaic, 1993. This is where the web actually began. Mosaic was the first browser to display images in line with text. Before this, images opened in separate windows, which sounds insane today. It also had a proper graphical interface, no command lines, no technical knowledge required. For the first time, normal people could browse the web. By 1994, millions were online, and Mosaic became the blueprint for every browser that followed. Netscape Navigator, 1994. The Mosaic team left and launched Netscape, and it exploded. By 1995, Netscape controlled around 80% of the browser market. It introduced cookies, JavaScript, and SSL encryption, which made online shopping and secure logins possible. At its peak, Netscape was the internet. Then Microsoft noticed. The first browser war. Internet Explorer, 1995. Microsoft panicked. They licensed Mosaic's code, slopped together Internet Explorer, and bundled it for free with Windows. Early versions were bad, really bad, but Microsoft had one unfair advantage. Windows was on almost every computer on Earth. By the late 1990s, Internet Explorer overtook Netscape not because it was better, but because it was everywhere. Microsoft tightly integrated IE into Windows, used proprietary technologies like ActiveX, and crushed Netscape's distribution. This triggered one of the biggest antitrust lawsuits in tech history. Microsoft survived, Netscape didn't. Internet Explorer's Dark Age, 1999 to 2004. By 2002, Internet Explorer had about 95% market share, and then Microsoft stopped trying. IE6 became infamous. It was slow, insecure, ignored web standards, and made life miserable for developers. The web stagnated for years because there was no competition. Innovation died until someone finally pushed back. The Rebellion. Mozilla Firefox, 2004. From Netscape's ashes came Firefox. Built by the nonprofit Mozilla Foundation, Firefox was fast, open source, secure, and actually respected web standards. It popularized tabbed browsing, pop-up blocking, and browser extensions. By 2009, Firefox had around 30% market share. More importantly, it proved Microsoft could be challenged. The browser wars were back, and the web started moving again. Opera, 1995. Opera quietly existed alongside all of this. Built in Norway, Opera was years ahead of everyone else. Tabs, speed dial, mouse gestures, built-in ad blocking, all before they were mainstream. It never dominated, but it influenced everything. In 2013, Opera switched to Chromium and survived by focusing on performance, privacy features, and niche users. The Apple ecosystem. Safari, 2003. Apple entered the browser game with Safari. Built on the WebKit engine, Safari launched on Mac in 2003 and became critical in 2007 when the iPhone launched. Safari isn't flashy. Its strength is efficiency. It's optimized for Apple hardware, saves battery life, and syncs seamlessly across Macs, iPhones, and iPads. Today, Safari holds about 20% global market share, almost entirely because it's the default on Apple devices. Critics argue Apple moves slowly on web standards and forces all iOS browsers to use WebKit, limiting real competition, but Safari quietly powers 1 billion devices. The Chrome Revolution. Google Chrome, 2008. Chrome changed everything. Google built Chrome with one goal: speed. Each tag ran in its own process, so crashes didn't kill the whole browser. The interface was minimal, the address bar doubled as a search box, and the V8 JavaScript engine made web apps feel like desktop software. But Chrome's real weapon was Google itself. Gmail, YouTube, Docs, Search, everything worked best in Chrome. By 2012, Chrome overtook Internet Explorer. Today, it controls about 65% of the global browser market. The downside? It eats RAM and feeds Google's advertising machine. Speed comes at the cost of privacy. The Chromium Army. Chrome is built on Chromium, an open-source engine Google maintains, and once Chromium won, everyone else followed. Microsoft Edge, Chromium. In 2020, Microsoft gave up and rebuilt Edge on Chromium, and honestly, it's good. Fast, efficient, deeply integrated with Windows and Microsoft 365. It holds about 5% market share, but convincing people to abandon Chrome is hard. Brave. Created by Brendan Eich, the inventor of JavaScript. Brave blocks ads and trackers by default and replaces them with opt-in, privacy-friendly ads that pay users in crypto. Controversial but extremely popular with privacy advocates. Vivaldi, built by Opera's co-founder. This is a power user browser. Top stacking, note-taking, built-in email, extreme customization, tiny market share, fanatical users. Arc, the newest experiment. Arc treats the browser like an operating system, vertical tabs, workspaces, built-in tools. Still niche, still evolving, but it shows how stagnant browsers had become before someone tried something new again. The Privacy Warriors. Tor browser, built on Firefox and routed through the Tor network. It's slow, intentionally inconvenient, and extremely secure, used by journalists, activists, and anyone who needs real anonymity. DuckDuckGo browser, an extension of their privacy-first search engine, blocks trackers, enforces encryption, and doesn't build user profiles. Simple, boring, and private by design. The current landscape. Chrome dominates with about 65%, Safari sits at 20%, Edge around 5%, Firefox has dropped to roughly 3%. The real issue isn't market share, it's engines. Chrome, Edge, Brave, Opera, Vivaldi, and Arc all run on Chromium. Only Safari and Firefox use independent engines. That means Google effectively controls how the web evolves. The next battleground is AI, privacy, and whether browsers become platforms instead of tools. From Mosaic's first images to Chrome's AI-powered future, browsers have shaped how we experience the internet. The browser wars gave us innovation. They also gave us monopolies. Your browser choice says a lot about what you value: speed, privacy, control, or convenience. Which browser are you riding with right now? Drop it in the comments. And if this finally made browser history make sense, like the video and subscribe for more tech explained properly.